Right, thank you. Hello, my name is Michael Stack, and I'm with TV Fanatic.
Hi.
Hey, Michael.
It's nice to meet you all. So, what drew you to your individual roles?
Christie Burke.
You want to take this?
Me first. Okay. Of what drew me to this, I think obviously that we had Dean Devlin and Jonathan Glasner behind it. I mean, my dad builds sets for movies and TV, and his first job he ever worked on was Outer Limits, which Jonathan Glasner did. And so I really felt like, oh, so cool working with, as a kid, I always felt like my dad, like what he was doing, because he's known for building spaceships and stuff like that and working on a lot of sci-fi. I always felt like, oh, I'll know I've made it when I'm on one of his sets or I'm working with the same people that he's worked with. So that was like a big deciding factor, is like working with, in my opinion, the legends of sci-fi. And then as far as my character went, I think she scared me. I'm not somebody who holds my cards close. You always know what I'm feeling when I'm feeling it. I'm very responsive. And so there was something about that aspect that really scared me, but also excited me. So I think that's what drew me to the character. But as the project, Dean and Jonathan for sure.
Yeah, I had never done anything on a spaceship before. It was super cool. It's like every young person dreams of like being an astronaut, And the great thing is I didn't have to actually go to space, which is a bonus because
I thought you did. I thought you did go to space.
Well, that was just research, but I mean, like before, yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was super fun. And as Christy rightly mentioned, the pedigree with which we were working is just kind of unparalleled in many ways. So it's great to feel safe, and because we didn't get all the scripts at the beginning, we get them as we go along. So it puts your mind at rest knowing who's steering the arc, so to speak. So that was great.
So much about what we do as well is it can be quite a gypsy existence. You don't know where you're going to be, you don't know who you're going to be with. And this job came along and it was doing this incredible sci-fi show, filming in Serbia, in a land I'd never been, with a group of people I'd never worked with. Everything just seemed very exciting about it. And then the character on top of that is just he's great fun, and I loved getting a chance to be that cocky and and full of myself. Huge jokes from distilleries. Oh yeah, but yeah.
Work with Reece Ritchie as well.
Work with Reece Ritchie and Christie Burke.
Yeah.
That was what came through on the Spotlight breakdown, and I went, I'm in.
I don't need to read it.
So, have any of your past roles or projects or things, did any of those like influence your character going into this, or was it just kind of thrown into a new world?
I think
man,
influences every character you will ever play, and there's all that stuff, but he's not necessarily similar to anyone I've ever played before, but a bit like in life, every interaction, every friendship, every relationship, it all influences who you are and who you go on to be and stuff. So yeah, I think probably along the way.
I think dialogue wise, I played Puck once on stage in Midsummer Night's Dream, and the pace of this dialogue reminds me a little bit of having to speak the verse, because if you watch any of the clips or the trailers, every cue is on the button. Like as soon as somebody finishes the last word of the last sentence, the next one begins for the next character, and the rhythm kind of continues throughout. So there aren't a lot of pauses in this show, and when they're there, they're earned. So that was kind of, I guess, for me, like it sort of woke up some of that language stuff that I had to use on playing Puck. And also he had a kind of mischievous streak about him, which also Lane has. There were some loose similarities there with the language and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, no, what Richard? Oh, I was thinking, I played, before I did this show, I was on this other show called Billy the Kid, and that character, Barbara Jones, is so free, and like she's out there and just, following every impulse she has, because, women of that time period in the Wild West weren't allowed to have that. But the Wild West does have this thing about it where it is life and death. It is very like, at any moment you could be killed and someone could kill you. So I think that intensity I definitely brought to Garnett, but she was like the polar opposite of Barbara, which is she's very caged and very like to the like principles of things. And so it was almost like doing like a 180 with the character, you know, knowing what it feels like to be free and then just closing all of that off.
Yeah, no, and I definitely, with what Reece said, it's a very fast-paced show. Like there's a lot of stuff going on. So that makes a lot of sense. Yeah, it's definitely. So what are you most looking forward to seeing fans' reactions of? Like what's your most like excitement for the show coming out?
I can't speak for the fans because I'm sure we'll have feedback along the way as to what they enjoyed. I know what I'm most looking forward to. I know what I filmed and I know what I worked with and saw, and that's great. I'm really excited about seeing the rest of the cast and the journey.
The stuff you didn't read, basically.
Yeah. It doesn't say Bryce, it's getting flipped. But I'm so proud of we've now been lucky enough to see the first few episodes and the younger cast and some of the sort of supporting cast. Everyone's just fantastic, and I'm so proud of them. And obviously, I got to see some of them more than others. But the stuff I've seen of theirs is so exciting, and I can't wait to see where their characters go and just kind of look on like a proud uncle and see them all smash it.
Yeah, I'm excited for a lot of the like action stunt stuff because we all three of us did our own stunts, and I had never done anything like that. And so you're doing it, you know, repeatedly, and you're like, I hope this looks good. You know, you're punching so far away from someone's face, and you're like, I hope this works out. Like, I'm excited for that stuff only because I've never seen myself in that light. You know, it's almost like it reminds me of when I was younger watching like Angelina Jolie just kick butt. I can't wait. I hope I look as cool as that, or like Michelle, you know.
Yeah, I'm excited to see the momentum of the whole thing because you read it on the page, but you know, you'll come in and you might spend a whole day filming one scene and you're all sat down talking. And then when you see it on TV and it's edited and there's Atmos music and it's intercut with other scenes that you didn't know it was going to be intercut with because choices have been made in the edit. I'm excited to see it packaged and put together, you know, because 5 months is a long time to be filming something and you forget scenes and then, you know, certain things just fade from your memory. And it's going to be cool just to see it all up there, you know, and on the screen. We really hope people enjoy it as much as we did making it.
Awesome. Yeah, well, thank you so much. I'm very much looking forward to the rest of the season, and thank you so much for your time.
Thank you very much.
Michael.
Thanks,
Have a good one, Michael.